15 foods that lower blood sugar, clean your arteries, and heal your heart. If you've been waking up tired, if your hands or feet sometimes feel numb, or if your belly just keeps growing no matter what you eat, please don't dismiss it as just aging. These can be early warnings that blood sugar is creeping out of control, or that your arteries are silently narrowing. And here's the frightening truth. Many people don't realize it until a heart attack or stroke strikes without warning. But there is hope, and it doesn't begin in a pharmacy. It begins in your kitchen. Nature has given us powerful foods that work like quiet medicines, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be used. Over the next few minutes, I will reveal 15 everyday foods proven by science to steady your blood sugar, clean your arteries, and bring strength back to your heart. And at the very end, I'll share with you a simple recipe, made with just 3 ingredients you already know, that can help you feel energy again and protect your heart for years to come. So stay with me, because what you're about to hear is not another quick fix or fad. It's a path forward, simple, natural, and possible for you, starting today. And if you've ever felt like you're running out of options, this might be the moment that gives you your hope back. At the grocery store, most people walk past kale as if it's just another leafy green. But hidden in those curly leaves is one of nature's strongest shields for your blood sugar and your heart. Kale is packed with soluble fiber that traps cholesterol and slows the rush of sugar into your bloodstream, giving your body steady energy instead of dangerous spikes. Its antioxidants, flavonoids, and sulforaphane quietly fight inflammation that stiffens arteries and leads to heart attacks or strokes. And let's not forget vitamin K, a nutrient that keeps calcium from hardening your blood vessels, allowing your heart to pump with less strain. What makes kale even more powerful is how simple it is to use. Blend it with lemon water for a gentle morning detox, sauté it with garlic and olive oil, or toss it raw into a crisp salad. Even a few servings a week can help lower cholesterol, stabilize glucose, and lift your energy. I remember a gentleman in his 70s who swore he hated greens, but after trying kale in small steps, he noticed climbing stairs became easier. His doctor smiled at his improved labs, and he realized healing didn't need to be complicated. Kale shows us that sometimes the foods we overlook are the ones that protect us most. And if a bitter green can guard your arteries so powerfully, imagine what happens when healing comes in the form of something creamy and delicious. Let's talk about avocado. Many older adults see avocados and think, too fatty, too many calories. But the truth is, this creamy fruit is one of the most powerful protectors of your arteries. Its healthy fats sweep away harmful LDL cholesterol, while raising the good HDL your heart depends on. Even more, avocados improve insulin sensitivity, helping your body handle sugar without overwhelming your pancreas. That means fewer spikes, steadier energy, and less wear on your system. One medium avocado carries more potassium than a banana, a mineral that relaxes blood vessels and stabilizes blood pressure. Add in its rich fiber, and you not only feel full longer, but also nourish your gut bacteria, an often forgotten key to better digestion, mood, and metabolism. But perhaps the greatest gift of avocado is emotional. For many who feel guilty about eating something creamy, Discovering this fruit is healing brings joy back to food. I remember a man in his late 60s who hesitated to eat it, afraid of gaining weight. After adding just a quarter avocado each day, he felt stronger. His numbers improved, and he said, "For the first time, eating feels safe again." Avocados prove that healing doesn't have to feel like restriction. Sometimes it feels like comfort. And if a creamy fruit can heal your heart, what about something sweet and juicy? The next food looks like a treat, yet it quietly protects your blood vessels from within. Let's talk about strawberries. When people with diabetes hear the word sweet, they often think danger. But strawberries prove that sweetness can also heal. Despite their juicy flavor, they have a low glycemic index, meaning they don't send your blood sugar soaring. Their natural fiber slows digestion, curbs cravings, and steadies energy throughout the day. What makes strawberries truly special is their rich red color, packed with anthocyanins. These antioxidants repair blood vessels, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation, lowering the risk of heart attack or stroke. Add vitamin C, and you also get stronger immunity and more flexible arteries. For older adults, that means steadier blood pressure and a heart that works with less strain. And let's not forget the joy they bring. Their fragrance, their brightness, their sweetness remind us that healing isn't always bitter medicine. I once met a woman in her 70s who had avoided fruit for years. When she finally let herself enjoy a bowl of strawberries, she cried. Not because of the taste, but because it felt like freedom. Within months, her blood sugar improved and her energy returned. Strawberries remind us that nature designed food not just to sustain us, but to restore us, body and spirit. And if something soft and sweet can guard your arteries, imagine what happens when the healer is crunchy and packed with powerful oils. The next food may look like a simple snack, but it works like medicine. Let's talk about walnuts. At first glance, walnuts look like nothing more than a snack for holidays. But inside each shell is a treasure chest of healing oils and minerals that can protect your heart and steady your blood sugar. Walnuts are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the same heart-friendly oils found in fish that calm inflammation and keep arteries supple. Less inflammation means better blood flow and lower risk of sudden blockages. They also deliver magnesium, a mineral that improves insulin sensitivity and helps regulate blood pressure. For seniors battling fatigue or sugar swings, this can feel like relief. Add selenium and antioxidants, and walnuts become a shield against oxidative stress that silently damages blood vessels over time. Even their fiber slows digestion, preventing the sharp spikes that exhaust your system. What many older adults don't realize is that walnuts, though dense in calories, can actually help with weight control. Just a small handful provides satiety, reducing the urge for sweets or processed snacks. I knew one gentleman who swapped his evening cookies for a handful of walnuts. Within weeks, his cravings calmed, his energy steadied, and his blood sugar readings improved. Walnuts remind us that healing can be as simple as crunching on something natural, small, satisfying, and deeply protective. And while nuts bring us strength with every crunch, the next healer comes from the earth itself, a humble root that offers steady energy and balance. Let's talk about yams. It looks plain, often mistaken for just another potato, Yet the yam is one of nature's most grounding healers. Unlike refined carbs that flood your bloodstream with sugar, yams are complex carbohydrates. They digest slowly, offering steady, reliable energy instead of exhausting highs and lows. For older adults, that balance can be the difference between fatigue and vitality after meals. Yams also contain diosgenin, a unique compound that calms inflammation inside blood vessels. Less inflammation means arteries that stay flexible and circulation that flows freely. Add to this their soluble fiber, which slows sugar absorption and helps you feel full longer, and you have a food that naturally fights cravings while stabilizing blood sugar. There's more. Yams are rich in vitamin B6, a nutrient that supports brain function, balances mood, and even reduces stress-related eating. For seniors managing both health and the emotional weight of change, this calming effect can be powerful. I once met a woman in her 70s who thought comfort food was off-limits. When she learned that yams could be roasted, mashed, or added to soups without guilt, her face lit up. Eating became joyful again, and her blood sugar thanked her for it. Yams remind us that healing doesn't mean deprivation. It can taste warm, earthy, and deeply comforting. And while the yam brings balance from the earth, the next healer is tiny but mighty. A single bulb, crushed or chopped, can release compounds so powerful they've been trusted for centuries. Let's talk about garlic. It may be small, but garlic has been called nature's antibiotic for centuries, and for good reason. Inside each clove is a lichen, a compound released when garlic is chopped or crushed. Allicin works like a natural relaxant for blood vessels, lowering blood pressure and improving circulation. For older adults, this means less strain on the heart and a gentler rhythm for the body to follow. Garlic also reduces LDL cholesterol while protecting HDL, the good cholesterol your heart needs. Even more, it thins the blood slightly, preventing dangerous clots that can lead to heart attacks or strokes. Its antioxidants calm inflammation, shielding your arteries from the silent damage that builds over time. What's remarkable is how simple it is to use. Just 1 or 2 cloves a day, minced into soups, sautéed with vegetables, or even taken raw for the brave, can deliver these protective effects. I remember an older gentleman who began adding garlic to his evening meals. Within weeks, his blood pressure dropped. His chest felt lighter, and he said he finally slept without worry. Garlic proves that healing doesn't need to come in a pill. Sometimes it's hidden in the fragrance that fills your kitchen. And while garlic fights in silence, the next healer works like a gentle stream, soothing, cleansing, and energizing. Not a food, but a drink, one that has been trusted for centuries. Green tea. For centuries across Asia, green tea has been more than a drink. It has been a daily ritual of healing. Each cup is rich in catechins, powerful antioxidants that relax blood vessels, lower blood pressure, and protect the heart from silent damage. These same compounds also improve how your body uses insulin, steadying blood sugar and preventing the exhausting highs and lows that so many seniors struggle with. Green tea also supports weight control. Its gentle caffeine, combined with catechins, boosts metabolism without the jitters of coffee. For older adults, that means a calmer energy, a clearer mind, and a body that feels lighter throughout the day. Even the act of sipping green tea, slow, warm, intentional, can soothe the nervous system, reduce stress hormones, and bring peace to the mind. I remember one elderly woman who replaced her nightly soda with a cup of green tea. Within a month, she reported not only better sleep and lighter mornings, but also a sense of calm she hadn't felt in years. Her doctor smiled at her improved blood sugar, but she smiled because life felt gentler. Green tea reminds us that sometimes healing flows not in pills or powders, but in a simple, steaming cup. And while green tea flows like a stream of calm, the next healer bursts with color and strength. Bright red, juicy, and humble, yet powerful enough to shield your arteries. Let's talk about tomatoes. The tomato may seem too common to be powerful, but inside its bright red flesh lies one of the heart's greatest protectors, lycopene. This antioxidant gives tomatoes their vibrant color and works like a shield against oxidative stress. Lycopene reduces inflammation, prevents cholesterol from sticking to artery walls, and lowers the risk of heart attack or stroke. For seniors, that means vessels that stay clear and a heart that beats with less struggle. Tomatoes also support blood sugar balance. Their fiber slows digestion, while their antioxidants improve insulin sensitivity, helping your body handle glucose more smoothly. And because they're mostly water, tomatoes hydrate and nourish without heavy calories, making them a perfect addition to daily meals. The beauty of tomatoes is their versatility. You can slice them fresh into salads, simmer them into sauces, or roast them for richer flavor. Interestingly, cooking tomatoes with a touch of olive oil boosts the absorption of lycopene, turning a simple meal into potent medicine. I once knew an older gentleman who dismissed tomatoes as just garnish. But after adding them regularly, in soups, sauces, even a simple slice with olive oil, his doctor noted lower cholesterol and steadier blood pressure. He laughed and said, "Who knew medicine could taste like pasta night?" Tomatoes remind us that healing often comes in everyday colors. Familiar, simple, and ready to protect. And while tomatoes shield the heart with color, the next healer comforts with warmth. A grain that has fed generations, soothing and steadying blood sugar with every bowl. Let's talk about oatmeal. Few foods feel as comforting as a warm bowl of oatmeal. For many, it's a memory of childhood mornings, but for the heart and blood sugar, it's also powerful medicine. Oats are packed with beta-glucan, a soluble fiber that forms a gentle gel in the gut, slowing the release of sugar into the bloodstream. That means steadier glucose, calmer energy, and less strain on the pancreas. But the gifts don't stop there. Beta-glucan also binds with cholesterol, helping sweep away LDL, the bad kind, and leaving arteries clearer. Oats are also rich in unique antioxidants called avenanthramides, compounds found only in oats that soothe blood vessels and reduce inflammation. Each spoonful works like a quiet repair crew, protecting circulation with every bite. What makes oatmeal so helpful for older adults is its staying power. The mix of fiber and protein keeps you full longer, reducing cravings that often lead to sugar swings, and it's versatile. You can enjoy it plain, with berries for extra antioxidants, or with a sprinkle of cinnamon for added balance. I once spoke with a woman in her 70s who swapped sugary cereals for oatmeal. Within weeks, her mornings felt steadier, her afternoons less sluggish, and her doctor saw real improvements in her cholesterol. She smiled and said, It feels like my body is calmer. Oatmeal reminds us that sometimes the most ordinary foods carry the deepest healing. And while oats bring warmth and comfort, the next healer fits right in the palm of your hand. Crunchy, tiny, yet strong enough to guard your heart. Let's talk about almonds. Sometimes the strongest protectors come in the smallest form. Almonds, crunchy, portable, unassuming, are loaded with heart-saving nutrients. Just a handful provides monounsaturated fats, the kind that lower harmful LDL cholesterol while boosting protective HDL. With every bite, they help keep arteries open and blood flowing freely. Almonds also steady blood sugar. Their mix of protein, fiber, and magnesium slows digestion and helps glucose enter the bloodstream more gradually. For older adults, that means fewer spikes, calmer energy, and less strain on the pancreas. They're also rich in vitamin E, an antioxidant that shields vessel walls from oxidative stress, slowing the wear and tear of time. Some worry almonds are too fattening, but research and experience show the opposite. Because they're filling, almonds actually reduce cravings and support healthy weight. I recall one woman in her 70s who began eating 10 almonds a day instead of cookies. She didn't gain weight. Instead, her blood sugar steadied, her hunger quieted, and she said, "I feel like food is no longer my enemy." Almonds remind us that healing doesn't need to be complicated. Sometimes protection fits right in the palm of your hand. And if almonds show us how something small can guard the heart, the next healer proves that sweetness can protect as well. Deep purple, bursting with flavor, it carries compounds that science has celebrated for decades. Let's talk about grapes. Sweet, juicy, and royal in color, grapes carry healing power far beyond their size. Inside their deep purple skin lies resveratrol, a compound that strengthens arteries, improves circulation, and reduces the sticky plaque that clogs blood vessels. Each handful works like a natural polish for your heart, keeping it strong and flexible. Grapes are also rich in anthocyanins, the same antioxidants that give them their vibrant color. These compounds calm inflammation, lower blood pressure, and improve blood flow not only to the heart, but also to the brain. For older adults, that means sharper focus, steadier energy, and even memory support. What makes grapes so special is their simplicity. No peeling, no cooking, just wash and enjoy. Their skin and even the tiny seeds hold much of the medicine, so eating them whole brings the greatest benefit. I once knew a man in his 60s who thought sweet foods were forbidden. When he allowed himself grapes again, he was shocked. Not only did his blood pressure improve, but he felt lighter, more joyful, as if he'd been given permission to enjoy life again. Grapes remind us that nature often hides healing in sweetness, proving that joy and health can go hand in hand. And while grapes prove sweetness can heal, the next food shows us strength can come from the simplest source. A humble, dark bean that nourishes body and heart alike. Let's talk about black beans. They look humble, but black beans are powerful allies for your heart and blood sugar. Packed with soluble fiber, they slow digestion, preventing sugar spikes and helping sweep excess cholesterol out of the body. That means steadier glucose and arteries that stay clearer over time. But the benefits don't end there. Black beans are also full of plant-based protein, vital for preserving muscle strength as we age. Each serving supports lean mass without the heavy burden of red meat. Their dark color signals anthocyanins, antioxidants that calm inflammation and protect blood vessels, much like those found in berries and grapes. Minerals inside each bean add another layer of healing. Magnesium improves insulin sensitivity. Potassium stabilizes blood pressure, and iron carries oxygen through the blood, keeping energy flowing. Together, they create a food that nourishes the whole system, and perhaps most remarkable. Black beans are affordable, accessible, and versatile. Add them to soups, mix with rice for a complete protein, or toss into salads for extra fiber. I once met a retired couple who made black beans part of their weekly meals. Within months, they noticed not just better numbers at the doctor, but also more energy for walks and even a brighter mood. Black beans remind us that true healing doesn't need to be rare or expensive. Sometimes it's right there in a simple bowl. And while black beans give strength and simplicity, the next healer refreshes with brightness. Just a squeeze can cleanse, balance, and awaken your system. Let's talk about the lemon. Small, sharp, and often overlooked, the lemon is one of the simplest yet most powerful cleansers nature offers. Beneath its bright yellow peel lies vitamin C, a nutrient that strengthens immunity and shields arteries from oxidative stress. For older adults, this protection means blood vessels that stay flexible instead of stiff and clogged. But the lemon's benefits go further. It contains pectin, a soluble fiber that slows carbohydrate absorption, helping steady blood sugar and curb sudden spikes. Though it tastes acidic, lemon has an alkalizing effect inside the body, reducing inflammation and supporting overall balance. A glass of warm lemon water in the morning can act like a reset button, clearing digestion, refreshing energy, and awakening the senses. Lemon also aids the liver, stimulating detoxification and bile production, which in turn helps regulate fats and sugars. For seniors managing fatigue, bloating, or sluggishness, this small habit can bring surprising relief, and beyond science, lemon carries symbolism. Healing often begins with something sharp, a diagnosis, a change, or even a squeeze of citrus, but from that sharpness comes clarity and renewal. I recall one woman in her 70s who began her days with lemon water. She told me it wasn't just her digestion that improved, but her outlook. Mornings felt lighter. Life felt possible again. Lemons remind us that sometimes the smallest choices bring the biggest transformations. And if a single squeeze of lemon can refresh your system, imagine the power of 3 foods combined: onion, turmeric, and olive oil. Together, they form a healing recipe that protects heart and blood sugar alike. Individually, onion, turmeric, and olive oil each bring healing power. But when combined, they create a trio that works like natural medicine for the heart and blood sugar. Onions contain sulfur compounds that lower cholesterol and thin the blood, keeping arteries clearer and circulation smoother. Turmeric adds curcumin, a bright yellow compound that powerfully reduces inflammation, the root cause of many chronic illnesses. And olive oil, rich in monounsaturated fats and antioxidants, protects vessel walls and improves insulin sensitivity, giving your body a steady flow of energy. Together, these 3 foods form a recipe both simple and profound. Sauté onion in a spoonful of olive oil, add a pinch of turmeric, and you have more than flavor. you have protection. For seniors, this combination not only lowers risk of heart disease and diabetes, but also adds warmth and color to everyday meals. I once met a retired teacher who began using this trio in her soups and vegetables. After months, her blood sugar steadied, her cholesterol improved, and she said, "I feel like food is finally working for me, not against me." The healing trio reminds us that small, intentional choices in the kitchen can create lifelong strength. And now, after 15 powerful foods, you've seen how nature offers a pharmacy right in your kitchen. But knowledge is only the beginning. The real change comes when you take the first step. Let's close with a message for your heart. You've just discovered 15 natural foods that can steady blood sugar, protect your arteries, and bring life back to your heart. From the bitter strength of kale to the creamy comfort of avocado, from the sweetness of strawberries to the golden warmth of turmeric. Each one is a reminder that healing doesn't always come from a prescription bottle. Sometimes it begins in your kitchen, in the quiet choices you make each day. But knowledge alone changes nothing. Healing begins with action, with that first decision to replace a soda with green tea, to swap cookies for almonds, or to add a handful of black beans to your meal. These small choices, repeated over time, can rewrite your future. They can mean the difference between living in fear of illness and living with energy, confidence, and joy. If your body has been whispering warnings, fatigue, dizziness, cravings, or heaviness in the chest, please don't wait for them to turn into alarms. Let today be your turning point. Your heart is still fighting for you, and it deserves your care in return. So start with just one step. Choose one of these foods today, and tomorrow another. Share this video with a loved one who may need the same hope. And remember, you are never too old, never too late, and never too weak to begin healing. Stay with me on this journey, because together we can build a life not just of more years, but of better years, filled with strength, freedom, and peace.